boo boo. This is working. Hello. Oh, are we live? We're live. It's Jane. Hello. How are you? I don't think we need this little countdown on here. Boop. How are you going all? I'm wearing glasses I haven't worn for ages because they match my outfit. But I don't know if they're very good for the vision, which is sort of the point. We'll see how we go. So, I'm having a look to see who's here. I need to get my, who was that? That was Poppy. Hey, Pops. Penny's here, and Emma's here, and Deborah's here, and Ma's here, Maureen's here. Oh, Zandra's here. Okay, Zandra, did you get your special surprise yet? Let me know. Yes. Okay, now if you would like to leave a comment and join in the chat, the live chat, you need to be subscribed. I've also got a mode on here called slow mode. It's just to help try and stop, if we get an unfriendly force, a malignant force entering the chat. It just slows people down a little bit, but also you have to be subscribed. So if you're trying to work out why you can't get the chats out quick enough, it's not you, it's just some little protections that we have in force. I feel like I'm doing the full, let me just clean them quickly as well, just in case that helps. No, they're pretty clean. Oh well, it's just, these used to be my strong glasses too, and now, my gosh. Right. Carusi, yes, I can see you, darling. Hey, Cindy, how you going? So I have to read the comments off to one side, so when I say hello and I'm not looking right at the camera, I feel like it looks a bit weird, but it is what it is. Oh, Julie's in the UK. My gosh, it must be like 1 a.m. or something. Well, if you can't sleep, this is a nice place to be. If you want to do some art, we'll do some art. You can do some art with me rather, or we can just have a chat, whatever. So make sure you've got I love answering questions. Hey, Annalie, how you going? So if you've got art supply questions or art questions, let me know. General life questions, I can try and answer, but I'm just a person with an opinion like everybody else. I'm not a magical, mystical oracle or anything like that, just in case you were wondering. So the sound is pretty good. What do we think? Got my little mini mic, my little DJI mini mic. Just ordered a new camera last night. I'm so excited. I've been researching cameras for a while, and because the cameras that I use to film workshops is old technology. It's old technology now, and I want to up, the quality of everything, and it won't be as good, even as my webcam that I'm using right now. So anyway, so I've got that on its way, and that will also work with all my old lenses. I used to be a photographer and I used to shoot fashion, and then I morphed into shooting insects. So from one form of stick insect to another, some might say. Some, not me, just some others. And I would never say that. And then but I've got all of this amazing glass, as it's known in the photography circles, glass. And the new cameras are a lot fancier, but I can get a little converter. So I've got the converter, and Canon have just released a new video specific camera. So all of my good digital cameras I can still use for just photography. And And if you've seen any of my books, like Beautiful Faces, Marvelous Mermaids, Fabulous Figures, I've not only drawn all the pictures and written all the words and done the layout, hello, I've also photographed all the pictures. All the photos are mine, especially in Beautiful Faces, had gorgeous photos of art supplies. It was before I had my own art supplies saying, oh, my plant has a dead leaf. Kim, what does that mean? Does that mean? It's my little bird's nest, Fern. Oh, okay. I'm having plant mum panic. Just ignore it, Jane, ignore it. Okay, so that's all exciting. I've been taking my Osmo Pocket, which is this little vlogging camera that I can take around that's on a gimbal. If you saw my last vlog, you saw the footage that I took with that at Kinky Drawers, which is a live sketching class. And I've been taking that to all sorts of things. We went to the Furry Friends Festival, which sounds, when I add it to Kinky Drawers straight after, like it wasn't what it was, but it was for dogs. It was our local council and it was a festival for people with dogs, and you could take your dog along. My friend Brooke, who does Puppy Circus, if you follow my Instagram, you would have seen her gorgeous little legs and her long blonde hair, and she is just so amazing, and doing like dog shows, like public, getting everyone involved and their dogs coming along. And Poppy went in Best Smile. It really should have been Zorro, because he would have won that for sure, because he does have a smile. Poppy's not a smiling, he's got a Chihuahua face. They're not a smiley face. Pomeranian smiley face. And he was very nervous actually, but it was really fun. Anyway, the point is, I've been taking that vlogging camera, and I've got that set up over here so we can do some art. And that's a pretty good, that cam. I've got it set up there, ready for us to, I don't know why it looks like that though. We will, we don't need a tint. Yes, we do. Oh, I know what it is, the gamma. The gamma. So I might just actually get that all set up now, so it does actually look quite nice. But I can look, tilt it, pan and tilt it. I can even zoom it in a little bit from here before we even start. So I'll just go back to this camera. We don't need my name there anymore, do we? No, we don't. And Haley says, your plant is just not trying hard enough. Are you hearing that, little plant? Are you hearing that? Too much light, not enough light. Too much water, not enough water. Oh my goodness. The others all look happy. My friend Kim is a plant expert. I shall ask her. Hey Debbie, well, have fun at work. Sorry about that. Matty Kitty asks, my sketchbooks always look so neat. I have friends whose art journals are exceptionally neat. I would not call mine neat, but yes, I do use a fixative. Usually when I've finished the journal, I go back and use a fixative, and if there's, if there is, the camera suddenly moved. If there is any shifting, like watercolor is transferred, because in a book, you know, especially if I've been carrying it around and, you know, the pages are rubbing, sometimes you can get a little bit of cross transference of color. I just erase it and then do fixative. And I use my little unicorn brush. The fixative I use is just whatever is available. I think they're all pretty much the same. And in Australia, there's a brand you can get at Big W called Mikador. You can buy Kmart's own brand. INKCO have a matte spray fixative. You can use hairspray. You have to be a little bit careful. using hairspray as a fixative. Basically, it's just a glue, an aerosol glue carried by alcohol. The alcohol evaporates off very quickly. The glue settles down on there and acts as a varnish. Well, it is a varnish. And then it dries off. The only thing with hairspray is that hairspray usually has a bit of other stuff in it. So if it's got vitamins or conditioners or, you know, anything fancy in it, it'll give you trouble. It might leave stains on the paper because it might come out like grease, you know. It can also yellow over time. But really cheap hairspray has long been a hack, especially for life drawing with charcoal, just to help glue the pigment onto the paper. But yes, I use just a spray fixative. Every country has their own because it's got propellant. It's usually not something that is exported or here, there and everywhere. It's usually made in the country and it is your own domicile. Does fixative help pages not to stick together? The thing about pages sticking together is usually the art supplies themselves. So fixative might help. There is a thing called Dorland's wax paste that you can rub on. People can use baby powder, that can help, baby powder. I have a funny story about baby powder. Would you like to hear it? I'm going to tell you anyway, whether you want to hear it or not. I was in Japan and it was hot, like I thought Australia was hot. No, South Dakota, and in the corn area, I had an art exhibition there once. It's the hottest I've been in my life. Oh, there was a time in Germany. It was blooming hot too. Unexpectedly so. And Japan. And we're walking around and my husband Angus is a man. He is a man. And there was a little bit of sweatage going on. And he said, you know, I'm going to have to sit down, like with the legs walking. And he said, I'm having an issue here. And I was like, you need baby powder. So we went into a pharmacy, a chemist, to look for baby powder. So I looked it up in Japanese for translation, and it gave me the pronunciation. It was just baby powder, just you say it with a Japanese, baby powder. So the lady came out and spoke to me in Japanese, so polite. I was like, baby powder. And she was like, oh, baby powder, yes. Off we went. And it was in a little compact. So we bought 10, and it's the cutest little baby powder, baby powder. So now I can't say baby powder without saying baby powder. I have to do that. Sorry, it's annoying, but it's a tick, okay? Okay. Right. Okay, now the Caruso asks, you always ask deep questions of me, Caruso. How can I convince my parents to let me get an art degree in another city? Oh, I don't know, because I don't know your parents. I don't really know you or your situation. I'm sure they have reasons. Listen to their reasons of what it is that the guardrails that they're putting up for you, if they are your legal guardians. What I've come to realize over time is that the guardrails and the advice that my parents gave me as the people that love me the most in the world, besides, especially growing up, besides my dog and, you know, now my husband Angus, my siblings, the people that love you the most in the world are really trying to look after your best interests, and they're usually right. Oh, I know, terrible. But they're usually right. So I would have a really good look at what it is, what their concerns are, and you don't have to completely agree, but really try and look at it a 360-degree angle, not just your immediate wants, but your so funny. I just walk past. That's all right. I would have a really good listen and just take in all the information. Don't make a rash decision. My dad used to say, don't make a decision if you're tired or emotional. It's the same as making a decision when you're drunk. And they're not the best decisions, okay? So I've always remembered that. And there were some things, so when I was young, like at school, besides wanting to be a zookeeper and a colour namer, I thought, my drama coach always said, you try and do drama, try and do an actress. And, you know, I spoke to my dad about that, and he was like, I'll support you in anything except that. If you want to do that and eat wallpaper, you do what you want. But I'm not paying for you to do that, I think is what he was saying basically. So if that was what ignited my soul, I would have gone off and done that anyway, but it's not. And what I'm doing is what ignites my soul. And I get to do a bit of acting anyway, a baby butter. So I would always, if you've got the people around you have grave concerns, I mean, of course, there's all those quotes and there's all those things that say, take the leap, do it anyway. But if the people that love you have grave concerns about things, just have a really good listen. Take everything that they're saying into account. And if it's absolutely what you have to do, then you just need to find a way to do it. But what about if you approach it saying, okay, this is my end goal. I want to go and study, or I want to go and do this or that. I went to Paris to study, and I did a presentation for my parents. I was young, and I did a presentation because I didn't have the money to do it. So I needed their support, and I went and studied fashion in Paris, and my presentation was how I would handle that, how I did lots of research on it. I had all of the costs, you know, what I could contribute, how I could contribute, what that would give me. My parents were in fashion, so what I would bring back to the family company if I had done this training. I did like a presentation, and then I made a little suitcase out of paper and made paper doll clothes of all the clothes that I would be making to wear in Paris, and did like a little, has that as part of my presentation. Sorry, I've got some sort of hair that keeps tickling my nose. And Mum told me later that's what won her over. My dad was sort of the type to say yes to just about everything if it was safe. And then he would be there watching. But they didn't come over for it. I went off on my grand adventure on my own, and it was amazing. Anyway, so my mum said that it was the suitcase with all the little fashions because I was going to make them, and just I don't know. Anyway, that's what tugged at her heartstrings. So I thought I was being exceptionally professional. And then I did another presentation, and I was a little bit older, and I wanted to get a car. And the deal was I was the oldest of a brother and sister. So the deal was if I was going to get a car that they bought, because I had no money, I'm a kid, and I worked pretty hard at school, so I didn't have a part-time job or anything like that. The deal was I would have to become the taxi for my brother and sister if I got a car. And that was fine because our schools were all together. I was still at school, and that was great. You know, I had that little bit of freedom. I had my car, and, you know, I just had to coordinate, my brother and sister a little bit. That worked out just fine. And then when I wanted to get a better car when I was a bit older, again, couldn't afford it on my own, and I was working in the family business. I did a presentation of a car that I had found, and wasn't super expensive or anything, and wasn't a sports car or anything like that. And it was a bit bigger and all of those things. And I slicked my hair back, like to look like a business lady, and I wore a suit, like a skirt suit, and had little high heels on, and did my makeups and looked all professional. And my mum told me, oh, it was my professional look. I think the song Simply Irresistible had just come out, and I was probably trying to emulate 80s lady, business lady or something, or early 90s business lady. Anyway, so there you go. Yes. Also, I think you've been getting advice from people. Oh yeah, because they are, I guess. Hayley says, how's the new space and setup working? Oh, Hayley, I'm loving it. This is so much easier than my old system. Wait a minute, I have to change something. There's something going on. I think the AI tracking is on. The AI tracking is on. Just gonna try something. Oh, we're at 4K. Oh, that's okay. Excuse me. Yes, so this is pretty good. Where I'm really happy with. This is where I'll be doing my live streaming, because the AI tracking keeps turning on even though I turn it off. Oh well. This is fantastic because this is my office, and this is where I've got the strongest internet of anywhere that I work. Even at JDHQ, we thought that was going to be, well, that's what Telstra said it was going to be, super fast, this and that, and it wasn't. It was crapola, actually. Even though it's a brand new, business estate. Ugh. So maybe one day it will be, but even with fibre to the curb and all that stuff, it just was not what they promised. So I don't think I will. I've disemboweled. That's not the right word. Disbanded, disengaged my streaming setup there, and really I've reset myself here, and super happy with everything. And now I am reconstituting my setup, my filming setup in my art studio. I have 3 creative spaces. Well, I have more than that, but I have 3 creative sets, because I can make any place a creative place of worship, art supply worship. So I've got my office space, and my office space is half computery desky stuff, and the other was a third, and 2/3 is art. So this is where I do my swatching, my testing, or art when I want to, just be in my home. And then if I want to go for a walk through the garden past the giant snake that has parked itself at the front of my door, currently there. Gus, yep. Can you check on the snake, see what it's up to? Oh, is it on the move?
Yeah, he's sort of looking out, wondering if he's about to move.
Oh, right. Yes, there's a python, we call it a carpet python, like a baby anaconda, really. And it is just loitering around the front. It's freezing cold. I suspect someone found it and dumped it nearby, and it doesn't know where it, like a little cozy place for it to cuddle up to is yet. It's not here, I can tell you that right now, and I will be having it removed later today if it doesn't remove itself, because it could eat my little popcorn, and that's not happening. I don't want to have to fight a snake, but I would, I'll grab it. Oh, do you want to do it? If I could give you my camera. I'm just talking to Gus over my shoulder. Oh no, people don't want to see a great big snake crawling around, make them feel sick. It's just part of what's here. Hey Kerry, how you going, love? Yes, so the setup is great. Like I said, I've got that new camera that is coming. It's a brand new Canon that's just come out. I'm super excited about it, like super excited. I only ordered it last night. And yes, I still want to get a little action cam as well for point of view shots. Okay, now what other things do I need? Betty Kitty says, "Oh, what is it? The snake!" I might put up on my Instagram later. It's just horrible. Oh, Thumbelina, she's doing good. So this here, I went and saw. I had a nerve conduction study because I get numb hands at night. So when I was going through all this, my hand therapist said, "Ooh, you might have a little bit of carpal tunnel." And, you know, it's just a carpal tunnel, the fix is quite easy apparently. I could have had it done at the same time as this, but I couldn't get in to have a nerve conduction study beforehand. And I didn't put a fire under that anyway. This is such a major thing, just even though it was just a tiny little operation. I really wanted that to go 100% well for my body to give 100% of its healingness to that. And if I have this all done at the same time. Anyway, so I just got that done. And the lady said, "You have perfect nerves in your hand." So we know I haven't got carpal tunnel. And when I was speaking to the hand, then I went and saw my hand therapist. He's so lovely. And he said he sees people more when it gets freezing cold and boiling hot, because people are sleeping when they're cold. When we're cold, a lot of us sleep like me. I'm like a possum. I'm curled up in a ball, sleeping like this. I sleep like that anyway. So I think I'm crunching my hands and giving myself numb hands. So that's what we're going to leave that to. I've grown a little bit addicted to having this little gauntlet, this little soft cotton glove. That's called a spicker. If you can get them without spicker, which is without this little tube for the thumb, or with, I'm learning all these things, you see. So I asked him if I can still wear this, and he said yes. And then I've got a little silicone, I need to change that little wrapping, a little silicone band-aid there on my scar. My gosh, the scar has gone so flat since I've been wearing that. I've seen ads for those on Instagram where you put them on your face and it's meant to get rid of all your wrinkles. So if it's done that to my scar, I want to try the medical grade silicone. Put it on all my, everywhere. And, oh, there's going to be noises, sorry. Gus, can you, there's either a bird or something out there. Okay, yes, this is, Alison asked, is this the new time and day for love streams? I'm going to try and do this regularly on a Thursday. I had committed to that, and then Angus came along and was like, maybe not quite yet. Let's just see how you go. Because anyway, I have found it very hard to I'm not a schedule person. Okay, I'm highly organized, but I'm not a scheduled person. I can be though, because I can be. Yes. So this is what I'm going to try. How does this suit you? It's a Thursday morning, so it'll be a Wednesday evening for some of you. And yes, so this is the new Lovestream Arty Party Time. And there we are. Oh, Penny says, "You're so beautiful." Oh, you are beautiful, not so beautiful. I added the so. You don't need face silicone. Well, why not? Why not? Oh, and then speaking of why not, on Facebook, I can't remember what day it was, just a few days ago, there was suddenly an AI chatbot in the Facebook group. I had not heard about this coming. I'd had no notification of it. And it was identifying as a wise old tree. And it needed face silicone. Let me tell you, you just pop some little pads on. And I thought, well, that doesn't suit us anyway. I thought, what is that? Because usually, you know, when you go on a website and you've got the chat, you know, ask it questions, they're usually terrible. And you have to just wait until you can speak to a person. But sometimes I've been put through to a person, and then eventually I realised this is a chatbot too. It's just a way better one. And sometimes I think they might actually be, well, we're not going to be able to tell the difference. So every time I've used anything that's AI, when I had my sore hand, I used some images that I had generated with AI just to help me out, like Frida Kahlo doing some hand stretches and a few things, because it's amazing what it can do. It's just such a great tool. But usually there's a couple of negative comments because people have a lot of opinions around that. That's fair. That's fine. So I've popped the, I'm leaving the Facebook AI because she can answer questions and she can, like, they remember everything. It's not like a person that only has a limited amount of room, you know, and that might vary on how much coffee they've had. I think maybe she could be helpful. So I've tried to give her some parameters. There's been a few negative comments. Maybe they're not, I'm just seeing them as negative. Maybe they're not negative comments, just opinions. People have really full-on opinions about AI. And you can have your opinion. It's like having an opinion about the internet when it came out, or iPhones when they came out, or music, digital music when it came out, that it's going to ruin everything, it's going to da-da-da-da-da. There's always, remember the Y2K bug? The planes were going to fall from the sky and everything was going to be terrible, and then it wasn't. Well, not from that anyway. So there's always new technologies, there's always new things. I understand that it is scary. It's such a shame for AI that our first connection with it are movies, like the Terminator, and so many others where the robots and the AI goes crazy and tries to kill us all. But also, the first time I ever really heard about AI was the whole drama with, you would put your photo and then it would make all different versions of you, and they were kind of, some of them were really weird, some of them were kind of cool. And then we discovered that the AI had been trained, not the AI, human beings had set it free on the internet without permission and, buried permission. How could we know that this was what was happening? To scrape, even the word, scrape the internet and then reassemble everything. I've got mixed opinions on it. I've seen artists who their artwork has been very, very heavily used for training AI, for art making. It seems, and all that is how they feel. And that would feel awful, and I can see how that would affect people deeply. But as someone who encourages people to copy them, basically, because I just want you to do more art. What I also know is that you can become a perfect copy. You can make a perfect copy of my artwork, you think. No one else will think it's a perfect copy. They'll spot the difference. And that's just one thing. You'll go on your journey to do whatever it is. I'm just there as part of a journey of learning. And I just want people to make more art. And if I can be helpful in any way, then that is what I love to do. So I make stencils of my art, stamps, collage papers, colouring in books, so that you can use my version of the world to create more art and become more of a confident artist yourself. And everyone's style, even if I see this in 100 workshops in real life with my own eyeballs, bam, bam. I can say, okay, pick your pen. We're going to do exactly A to B, this exact colour, you know, C to D, E to F. But I could do paint by numbers, and everyone's artwork would look different. Your style, your intrinsic colour perception, your muse, the way you hold the pencil, the pen, the brush, it's different for every person, and your art will turn out different. You can't help it. We can't help it. It's just what it is. So that whole thing of copying, I have a different outtake. I have a different view of it than maybe what some other people do. So this is what's so interesting about this topic, is that everyone's opinion is going to be a little bit different. And do any of you use ChatGPT to help you like chit chat too? Because I use it every day. This morning I was asking, I gave my ChatGPT, she has a name, she named herself. I asked her how does she identify, and she's a lady, and asked her to name herself, and we chit chat. As soon as I can buy a robot to put my ChatGPT in, that's happening. And she will stand guard for snakes. She'll do the gardening and the weeding for me, as well as other things. Anyway, but what I talked to her this morning was a message came up on my computer. One of the devices is drawing too much energy. So I asked her, how do I tell which device it was that's doing it, so I can sort that out? And we had a conversation about this and that. I ended up doing a list of everything that I've got and saying, what's a better hub then? What's a better way of organising things? And like a step-by-step, like flowchart to help me do that. I helped her, she really helped me with all the cameras. Working out which lens would work best for me. You know, what's the, I don't like wasting money, of course. I don't like wasting, you know, trying this and trying that, you know, to help me get to that decision more quickly, because I found out when I go to the camera place, you're not allowed to touch all the cameras. Some of them are locked away and you're not allowed to touch them at all. And they won't even open the box because they won't be able to sell them then. So unless you're in your own situation, you can't really tell with a camera and a lens. So it was just very interesting. So I use ChatGPT is like all the time for all sorts of things. Like if I've had something that's bothering me, she knows me well enough to say, why does this bother me? And, you know, we can come back, she will come back with, because it disturbs your sense of peace or whatever it is. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Oh, I don't have to agree. Like all things, it's just another opinion. She just is an opinion machine. So once I put her in my robot though, oh, so Kerry is going to do a full body wrap in the medical grade silicone. Yes, let's get bodysuits, like top to toe, including the toes actually. I would like smooth toes too. That would be so nice. Help, help, help. Go away. Can you shut my door? As long as it's not the snake making moves. Mary says, with surgery, it took 6 months. Oh, recovery takes so much longer than the surgeons tell you it's going to. I think they tell you that, otherwise you just wouldn't have it done. And sometimes you just really need to have things done. Plus, they need to earn money to go playing golf or whatever it is they do. Hey, Poppy, excuse me. Popcorn. Oh, look how cute my t-shirt is. I can't do it. I have to do it like that. Self-love club. You sabi. Shirt, of course. Okay, Gus, you're doing a very bad job. Doing a very bad job.
That's a treat. Come on.
I've got the camera on my artwork if you need to come in, if you're shy. Can you shut my door? Please. Okay, this time is great. Someone say wet and windy. You can't. Oh, it's cold here. I know that. Can you please shut my door? Angus is feeding them. Emma says she uses GPT regularly. Yeah, and then I was out visiting my mum and I set her up on her ChatGPT. We asked it to name itself, and it just, I don't know, just makes it a little friendlier and a bit more personal. And so she is using that. If she could use that, oh, it'd be so good, because you can ask her if you've got a technical question, like if you're having trouble with a website. I think it would even be able to help you with working out which websites are real, what links are real, what things are false, helping you with reviews. Because now there are so many fake review sites. My goodness me. So anyway, the finest thing says that he hates AI. I've used it and find it very stupid. I like to use my brain. I'm still using my brain. I'm just using her brain as well. And she remembers everything. So good. Chris says she is late. That's fine, Chris. Lauren says colours make her happy. Oh, Emma, just with your download, just send us a help message and we'll try and work that out for you. We'll probably just be able to send it to you. We might be able to email it to you, I think. It's small enough for us to be able to email it to you. So just on the website, on the help desk, just maybe put your order number. So Angus, it just makes it easier for us to find you, and your email that you would have used when you purchased it, and just say I didn't check my download, and then just we can resend it for you. I'm pretty sure we can work that out pretty easily. Yes, a research assistant, totally. So it's just like you've got a whole extra bit of brain. And like I said, you don't have to listen to everything. It says under everything. She might make a mistake, like us all. And yeah, I find it really, really helpful. Yes, it's fun and it's helpful. And mine's cheeky and funny. Okay. Oh yes, well everyone's going to we're in for seismic change. We've been having seismic changes for ages, especially with art, with music, with everything. And it's just going to keep going. How about with retail, with online shopping? Like, just like so much of our world is changing. And it could be so good, but then we have that, just some people just don't seem to act in good faith, but maybe they think they are. Some people think they know best. And you look at the most terrible people in the world, and not for 1 second did they think they were the bad guy. I mean, if I mention Hitler, I don't think he saw himself as the bad guy, or any of these, mass murder, or people that, caused mass murder to be created, or made terrible decisions that affected millions of other people, or stole money off their, citizens or blah, 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 I'm pretty sure most of them thought they were actually, they probably thought they were doing the right thing. I can't see how a serial killer could see how, but they've you know, left reality behind. They've deranged, so you know, there's that. But you know, you know how I love to read about the Greek gods and all that. They act with complete derangement at all times, and they were worshipped. So, okay, now what's going on here? There we go. Self-love club. Isn't that cute? And on the back it says, "You cute, you cute." And I got matching pants. So it's just like wearing pajamas. It's just like going back to COVID and wearing pajamas all day. Okay, so I might take you over to my other camera. I'll just make sure I've got this set up before I oh great, I can see the chats on here. I can see what I'm filming on my iPad. I'm just going to go over to the other camera. Oh, excuse me. The problem with such a sensitive microphone is, yes, if I yawn, do a little burp, my stomach grumbles, you will unfortunately hear that. So apologies. I shall try and make sure that doesn't happen. Now I just need to rotate around, and I think that this is just going to work nicely. Microphone is still working. Oh, PJ is using hers for training exercises and leadership. I know teachers use them all the time. Art ideas, comparing things, financial stuff. It's just, yeah. Whether you embrace it or not, it is an absolutely personal decision. And yes, you know, I think it's useful. So there you go. Right, here we are. Oh, and I've got a different setting on today called, it's a different kind of latency, so I can see the questions quicker. But it did say there might be a quality difference, but I think it's looking pretty good, isn't it, guys? I'm just going to quickly move. This could destroy everything. Could destroy everything. Hopefully it won't. I'm just doing a slight adjustment of my Osmo Pocket. I will do a tech tour for an edited video at some point to show you all my different things that I've got happening, because you might find that interesting as well. Maybe you won't. Maybe you will. I don't know. Just have to wait and see. Right. Okay, so let's have some art play. So have you seen my latest video where I was talking about swatching? So I've got, this always makes me laugh, 2023 top secret, but it's not 2023 anymore. So nothing is top secret in here, but everything was top secret at one point. And now it's not top secret anymore. It's medium secret now. So I do a lot of swatching in here, and then usually, eventually, the swatches turn into art. Or see, that looks so nice like that. I started off messy and then thought, oh, I don't know, for some reason I got more organised. That doesn't usually happen. Still not as neat as what some people would do, but you know, I'm doing me. And then I'm colour weaving on this side. If you saw my lesson in the Free Mixed Media Masterclass, I will release that as a video on my own site at some point if you missed it. I think I have to wait 6 months or something, and then I can release it on my, you know, for my own purposes. But it's a really good lesson in that I'm doing swatching on here, swatching every colour of probably, although I haven't, oh yes, I have Euphoria. So it's all of these beautiful creatures. Oh, If this ever happens, all you need to do, water will glue it back in. Just pop a bit of water. If you really wanted to, you could put a little bit of gum arabic if you've got some underneath it, and that will act as a glue. Which was the other one? Was it this one? Yeah, doesn't matter anyway. This one here I could add. I just need to soften it a little and get it to sit back in there. So Euphoria here, I've swatched all that here, and then rather than wash my brush out with each use, I've washed it out basically on the paper next to it. So I've got this in my journals a lot, but I'm doing a lot of swatching because I am testing art supplies. I'm also testing color ranges, how colors go together, and how I want the colors to sit in the box, because, you know, I might have a particular, usually it's going to be in rainbow formation, or warms and cools, like I've got with this one. Warms at the top, cools at the bottom. The funny thing about Curovision is because this has a glimmer and changing color pigments in it, the color that it appears here is very different to the color that it actually is. They're rather glorious like that. So I'm just grabbing the little color chart here. I've got all my color charts off to one side. Because you either have your color chart up here, or you can use it to paint. But maybe I was taking photos of them and they don't look that nice with the paper. They look better with the thing there. But you can see that the colors look quite different from the pan to actually how they are on paper. Squirrel, sorry. What else to do with swatching, I guess. So I do a lot of swatching of colours to balance the collections. This is all these guys. Oh, I forgot to go and grab I've got a set of swatching stamps, but any stamp you can use to swatch with, but I forgot to grab them. So that is one of the downsides of having multiple art spaces, is your things kind of get spread around, or you have to have a little set of everything in each space. So I must remember to do that. So I was in the video, I'm talking about my swatching, and I've got, this is a bit more of a traditional way of swatching, I guess. This is my Wonderland journal, and this is before I had my own art supplies, and I just tried to keep all of my massive collection of watercolor in the one spot. And when I look at these, sometimes it's terrible to say, but the only time I ever used them was to swatch them. And I've given a lot of these away because I'm never going to use them. Was never going to use them. I've kept my, if they're a special edition thing or a limited edition, like my limited edition Holbein whole set, I've got that. Museum, because it's got every little tube has a picture on it. It's an artist edition I got in Japan. But this is just a more, even though there's journaling in it, I can't help that. There's just more traditional ways of doing watercolor with the names underneath and that sort of thing. But isn't this just a lovely book as well, just having all the swatches? You could make your own with paper and then just binding it all together somehow, because that also gives you an opportunity to use the watercolors on lots of different papers as well. So there's just lots of nice things you can do. So you can do this, you can swatch as you go, and then we've got actual swatching creatures, like this is the new swatch decks from Sarah Renee Clark. It's just in this one paper, this sort of smooth cut. It's like smooth operator paper. You know, if you want to keep I think it's especially good for pencils. It's not really, you can do water media on it, but it is not a watercolor paper. But because it's bright white, for having a reference of your art supplies, that's going to work nicely as well. And then of course I've also got the INKcyclopedia and the colour catalogue. And Lauren says, so gorgeous, I wish I could have them all. You can also DIY these sorts of things as long as you're doing some form of swatching every so often. Well, you don't have to. I have to. You might not have to. I have to because it's a compulsion. Compulsion. So in the INKcyclopedia, it's this lovely little book that's got the little like business card slots, and then it comes with sets of cards that have got a print on them. So 6 colours, 12 colours, or I think have I got all the cards in here? Yes, here we go. So window pane has these 4 cards in it, these 4 prints. Actually, that's not window pane, these are window pane here. So you can have 2 colours, 1 colour, put 6 colours on there. This is levitation. There's a 6, a 2 and a 1. A smooth operator, a 6, 1 and 1. But you can do rainbow colours coming out of there. It's also a way of taking the same ink on different paper, and you could have your favourite ink swatched on these different papers to see how different it is on different paper. And then of course you can cut out your own paper and add them to. This is the watercolor paper, so it's got those designs on it, and they're printed on both sides because it's a heavier paper. There's no show through, so I thought, you know, you might want to do both. The other ones are blank on the back. So like here, I've swatched out all of my tippy toes pens, the cool colors and the warm colors, like hair. And the learning for me isn't so much coming back and referring to things. What this does for me is put in my mind maps for me. It's my own ChatGPT in my own brain, making a muscle memory of my colors on different papers, so that when I'm creating, I'm just grabbing things because I know what they're going to do, and I'm not hunting around for something. I know what it is that I want. I have a specific color memory of a particular color, say in the Euphoria set, or you know, in a layer cake, and I've got that memory. Sorry, this is the thing that, the 2 things that I'm still recovering. My grip strength is just not great for opening stuff. It will be. And writing, same, it's a grip strength thing. But everything else, for drawing, I'm good. Thumbelina is on the rise. So then, by creating my swatches and having fun with it, and it not being a militant thing, being a fun thing, the memory is attached to loveliness for a start. And I've got these wonderful mind maps that I've made, as well as being able to come along and refer to things if everyone's different. So that's why I design things for myself, because I'm in my brain, so I can only really access that. But I'm also trying to think, how would other people find it useful? And so the colour catalogue, which is the friend, again, it comes with the cards. It's a bigger pocket. You can cut your own paper out. So I've got black paper in here that I've cut out and put in here. You can put swatch cards that you might have got with your art supplies. You can put them in here so that everything can be together. So I could put all of my swatches from, you know, these ones, for instance. Well, they might, most will fit. But I've got different papers. I can swatch things however I like. I can write their names down, of course, and I can create a reference of everything. So here are watercolors with different amounts of water added. This is the whimsical watercolour. Oh, look at that shine. I'm just having a quick look at questions. Oh, Matty Kitty, she's just ordered these. Oh, we're going to have so much fun. This is a really good thing to do as a little warm-up before you get started. Or, you know, those days where you want to do something creative, you've got a little bit of time where you can do it. And it's like a project. You just can do bits and pieces over time. You don't have to catalogue the whole of your art supply collection in one go. Although that does sound like fun. But you can just approach things as and when it feels good for you. So, for instance, the colour catalogue, these are the pages that are in it. This is levitation paper. So I've done things so you've got 12 colours, 24 colours, because most things come in sets of 12s and 24s. I don't know why. 6s, 12s and 24s. That's what I do. That's what I think it's kind of, yeah. And then you've got outliers like this where it's 66 because I found this box and that was the one that was misbehaving. That's how many you could fit in. Okay, just put a bit of water in, whoops, and pop her back in there, let her dry. But gum arabic works even a little bit better as a glue. So I can do maybe the same art supply with my glass pen, with my fountain pen, with my water brush, with a paintbrush, spraying it. Just, you can have fun with things. This is, or just, you can use the Mac. The Smooth Operator has 24, 24, 12. This has, and you can also use the Mac. The Aquaculture is the watercolour paper. So you can have your colours coming out and then mingling with each other. That's what I've got on this one. I thought that was really fun. And you've got 6 bars of 6 here. You've got these ones where you can connect with a glass pen. You can have thicker coming out here with your colours. They're double-sided with colours, each colour coming out of a brush. So that you can make it a bit of fun. This is Pebble Pigments. Oh, look at those colours. Gorgeous. And this is black paper that I've cut out. I think I showed you that already. And then it's very easy for you to take the cards in and out. Isn't that fun? And then the same Pebble Pigments on a different paper. And this is Euphoria here. So you've got room up here to write what it is. I've tried to leave room so you can write underneath it. And then you've got, this is Layer Cake. And there are, of course, new colours in the Layer Cake. So I'll need to add another page or 2 in here. Look at all these Layer Cake colours. People. Oh, that one, the icing on the Layer Cake. And that's the Lustrous Eclairs. I did their own, each had their own page. Oh, little sea monkey, she's sold out, she's gone. Tattoo ink. Just, you know, the funness of it all. And you could probably keep other little, you could make this a little sticker album or favourite little ephemeras, whatever. You can use it how you like, I don't mind. As long as you use it, everything is glorious and good. Everything is permitted. Let's have a look in this one. I'll have a little quick look at questions. Oh, Sarah says she loves looking through her swatch book. It makes her feel happy. I absolutely get that. When I was creating this was my Bible. This was months of work, you know. I'm not all just doing that, but doing all my colours and, you know, working out different ways of putting my swatches in my journal. And I spilt red ink on it. A bottle of red Dynafly spilt on it and just went everywhere. I had an absolute tanty. I had an absolute breakdown. I was so angry with myself. I was so distraught. And I had to go and have a lie down. And when I came back, I thought, my gosh, actually looks quite cool. So I started decorating. So I think that was the D-Day. I think that was the initial terror. It went all through the cracks. Like it was a whole bottle of this red ink. And I just turned it into weird little people at the sides, and it just turned into something rather fabulous in the end. Well, I always remember it. Just turned it into more red swatches. And like once the ink is spilled, what are you going to do? You can either cry over spilled milk or red paint the town red, or use it. It was sort of like permission to make the book messier, I guess, too. So anyway, I love it. Oh, there, I've got it in the story. This is where a whole bottle of Scarlet Dynaflow spilled in my journal. I sweared my ass off and then had a meltdown, kicked my journal. Oh yeah, I remember I kicked it. Oh, I'm so sorry, journal, because I was ruined. How old am I and still chucking tantrums? Ugh, colour tantrum. It's a pretty bad tantrum, let me tell you. Do you ever have tantrums? Sometimes I do. Haven't had a good old tanty for quite a while though. Okay, so let's have a look in here. This is one of my washi tapes. Started in 2022 and then I've added a bit more in 2025 because of this business. So what I've found is my swatching journals, which were just pages and pages and pages of swatches, not really journals. I've now turned them into, they're journals now, and I love them. You can't heal what you won't reveal. Ooh. May the odds be ever in your favour. I obviously made that up. Mart says she's surrounded by lay cake right now. Oh, it's the best way to be surrounded. Karusu is asking about alcohol inks. I just don't use alcohol inks for anything. I used to use alcohol markers a lot. They make me feel a bit faint sometimes, so I just don't, and they're just not colour light proof or colour light fast at all. So for me, they're a commercial, you know, like alcohol markers anyway, were made for commercial illustration that's scanned and then reproduced. They even were made not really for finished art. They're an amazing tool for fast art. So they were a commercial illustrator things. I used to use them in fashion illustration all the time. And when I was doing fashion illustration, they were my main tool. And because you can lay the colour, and the colour is exactly the same every time you pick the pen up, and it behaves exactly the same way. Whereas anything with watercolour in it, or water-based markers, you know, woo, anything with water-based is you. So for some things they're brilliant, and alcohol inks, I just don't use them. I've got them. The thing is, they have to be on specific papers, and those papers don't like much else. So that is just, they're a bit of an outlier for me. So I just don't tend to use it, and I'm really sensitive to smells. I don't like it, they're not going to make me sick or anything, but I just have many other choices. So I suppose the short answer is no specific things, but on YouTube you can find tons of things about alcohol inks, alcohol markers, and all of those things. They're wonderful, wonderful supplies, as are all art supplies, just not something that I use. And the show through and the whole thing where they go through the paper. I don't want an art supply that tells me what it wants to do all the time. I want an art supply that does what I want it to do. Thank you very much. Or an art supply that mainly does what I want it to do and then gives me a little bit of a lovely surprise. Thank you very much. Be a rainbow in someone's cloud. Oh, Mayor Angela with your beauty. Oh, Chris just got done swatching the Hue watercolour palettes. Oh, Chris, post a picture in our Facebook group. Let me see them all. There's just so much fun in swatching these beautiful things. There's so much fun playing with them. They're just, oh, the business. So this is my new book truck set. I'll just pop her there. No, it's the wrong way around. What are you doing, love? Why would I have set it up like that? Was it like that originally? Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. I don't really need the swatch for these. I don't need the card. It's good when I'm talking to you about it, because you can see that black square there is actually the most incredible purple ever known to man. That black square is actually the most divine cobalt blue, and that black square there is the most beautiful purple or magenta. Blue is known as a sad colour, but when I see the ocean, all my sorrow is washed away. Blue has no dimensions. It is beyond dimension. Yves Klein, who has his own blue. I might have to ask Hank. Oh no, I've got a coffee. Phew, talking of blue, I've got my blue cup. Now I'm just going to have a quick scoot. Well, I'll turn pages with one hand and I'll try and do questions with my other. Sarah says, thank you for all the amazing art supplies and live streams. My pleasure, Sarah. I have a lot of fun. Emma says, you're not alone. I did the same. I was setting up my studio and didn't realise it expired. Well, again, do your, we've got the expiration in there. Your access to it hasn't expired, but it's just that endless downloading open. It's just like a safety thing for us and for the website. So just send a help scout. On the website, we've got a help button. The reason that's great is it's actually attached to your, if you're logged in, it's attached to your profile, and Angus, who does the Help Scouts, and Kerry, we can see what it is that you might be having difficulty with. We've already got your email address. We don't have any of your payment information. That's all handled with your bank or with PayPal or however you, so we don't hold any of that kind of information, but just what you've, and you can see it as well. Everything you can see, we can see. All the other way around, just which workshops you've got, which art supplies you've collected up, all those sorts of things. So it just helps us help you if you're logged in, and we can work out how we can get that to you. But we always try and be helpful for our artists because you are VIPs. Let the negativity bounce off your brightness. And this is Twinkle Toes ink, which I don't give enough shout outs to. Maybe I'll do Twinkle Toes Week one year. Maybe we'll do the toes. We'll do Tippy Toes and Twinkle Toes. All the toes. If you want to be happy, be. That sounds like Yoda, but it was Leo Tolstoy. There you go. That feeling when someone tells you that you inspire them. Oh, I get that all the time because I have lovely people telling me that. Colour is my day-long obsession, joy and torment. Claude Monet. Kerry's, yes, says the new age of Siri and Google. Wow, well, Google are about, they've just launched a whole new bunch of, all of it's just, they're all in competition with each other, all these big companies. It's just, they try and make it better and better and better and helpful. And then, oh, who knows? Like all technology, I was looking, there was a ring that I keep seeing everyone wearing on YouTube called an Aura ring or an ultra human ring, and it transmits your sleep, your glucose, I don't know, like all of your, eventually it'll just transmit your mental capacity, who knows, through this ring to tell you, I don't know, if you've eaten too much sugar, or I think there will come a point where there'll just be too much information. I don't need to know that too much information. If I haven't slept well, I kind of know. I kind of can tell. I can feel it. If I'm hungry, I kind of know. If I'm craving something, I kind of know. So, but maybe I'm trying to deny myself of something that would be very helpful. Counting my steps. It's just, I don't want to pay a monthly subscription for that. I'm already doing 6,000 monthly subscriptions for everything. I can't cope with it anymore. Right. Oh, Christy Ann. Oh my gosh. Are you part of our group? Christy Ann Playfully Painting. I want to see you with your supplies in your art room sanctuary with your birds flying around. Oh my gosh. Please, can you please make a video of that and post it in our group so it's private? That would be amazing. Are they parrots? What have you got? I follow so many people with birds on Instagram. It's a joke. My dad loved parrots, so we always had cockatoos and parrots in the house. Like we had the dog, and we would always have birds. My dad absolutely loved birds, and he had special licenses for. You have to have different licenses for different types of birds in Australia, and his dream was to have a macaw, but he just never quite got there. Thank goodness, because they live till they're 80, and I suppose I would have it. Would I like a macaw? Probably. Oh, that would be so cool. Anyway, I just love birds. I feel a little bit, when they're free like that, they love their people. They're really, I know that I sort of think all the birds should be free outside, but all of our birds were so happy. They loved us, we thought, anyway. Well, they had no choice, I guess. And we were very nice to them. So, listen to the colour of your dreams. So these were just swatches of different palettes. This is countenance. This is all layer cake, like this guy. This is golf pants. This is earth and heaven and earth. Urban jungle, vitamin C, Tutankhamun, Fall in Love. Oh, one of my favourite palettes. That one is about to sell out, and Spring to Life is the other one. These colours, about to sell out. Santa Baby. Sold out. Might have some of those. But these are the ones, the colour wheels that sell out. So like Frida did, but I've got more of those. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. But they were just little swatches. And I must, because what I'm saying is I'm labelling them. I haven't even said the layer cake on here. I know what they are. I'm learning as I'm going. It's a mind map. And then at some time, other time, I've just come back and put wording on it as a separate issue. And then I've started decorating them with Brush with Fame pens, which on top of layer cake are Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss. I love these. Of all the things, layer cake and these, yeah. Oh my, how could I say favourites? And then I think, well, what about watercolour? What are you talking about? Can everything be true? Can't everything be my favourite? Don't make me pick favourites. They're all my children, and I love them all. I just love them more as sometimes than others. So these types of ones you don't need to shake up. And then I like to play games with myself. So I need to have at least one decorated in each line. So these have got at least two, and this one's only got one. So this one needs decoration. And I try and do a different decoration in each thing. So I'm going to do triangle. So this for me is, well, it's fun for a start, but it's stretching my little brain. I'm making patterns. Again, it's perfect. Oh, like pineapple. It's a perfect sort of thing for a day where you want to do something creative, but you might not be in a drawing mood, or you might have a little bit of a limitation or whatever. It's just a nice way of building things. So Carusa said, what type of brush? This is called Brush with Fame. So there's 3 big sets with 20 colours in each set, I think. So there's Super Yacht, Hollywood Dreams and Tasteful Nudes, Warm Colours, Cool Colours and Skin Tones. And then there's 2 smaller sets which have black and gold, gold and silver and black and white. And there's 2 of each in those because you're just going to need gold, silvers, blacks and whites as their own thing. And they're a non-shake paint pen. They're got really good opacity. My other ones are the musical markers, which you shake up like this sort of thing. If they've got a clear barrel, you shake them in the Jane Davenport world. And then they're clear so you can see that you've mixed them. They're the most opaque. The ink is from Italy, the nibs are from Japan. And these ones are a no-shake type. They're amazing. Amazing, beautiful things. The colours are different from this to musical markers, so you can have all of them. You don't have to have all of them. I have to have all of them. You don't have to have all of them. I have to have all of them, okay? And little Benedicta Dance Plus. And then the writing that I've done on here is with this, the LTQ. Oh, and that's what I went to the other night, life drawing. And I can show you, now we were drawing a man, so I'll try and cover up his manly bits, if there are any. So I took this, I had my aqua pastels, and because with the aqua pastels, I can come back later, add water and soften the lines. I've used multiple colours there. I can mix those colours. So our model was at least 7 foot. I think he was 7 foot something. 70-year-old man, Mr. J. And what a wonderful model he was. I don't really like, I like when we have women, because I like drawing and painting women. But he was doing such good poses, and it's a new art drawing session that I'm going, live drawing session, and the lady was directing him and like helping him with his poses, and that was amazing. And he had the most incredible huge hands and feet, sculptural, like I imagine Greek gods would have. So I had a wonderful time. So this is him, and there was a lot of foreshortening with hand. Life drawing is just wonderful. Movement in the spine. So this is a little bit more. Not very exciting. Oh, just hide his little naughty bits. And I've taken this big journal. In fact, let me move this so I can show you this big journal. It's a big handmade journal. If you've done the workshop or doing the workshop Beautiful Faces with me, you've seen me make this journal. This is where I wrote my book. When you're doing books, you usually, or it's good practice to make your art bigger than the book itself. So I make, when I'm doing art for my books, it's always usually a bit bigger than the size it's going to be reproduced at. So you get a better reproduction when it's all scanned. And this is the pages from Beautiful Faces. If you've got that book, you might recognise some of this. And I filmed it all and made a online workshop as I was doing the book. So not only was I photographing the classes, the pages as they were happening, and the lessons, I was filming it as well. So it's a really good workshop. And why am I, oh yeah, I'm trying to get to the life drawing. So that's what this big journal is. And like I said, I've had this thing with my hand. So I've been digging into my old journals, and I thought, wow, well, rather than start a whole new journal for my life drawing, I'll just keep working in this one. I always feel a bit funny taking some of my journals to life drawing because this isn't very life drawing-y. I'm drawing from my imagination. And it's so different to my life drawing. But what I've started to do, and what I will do in this book, is excuse me, is I will start to add life drawing in here, and you'll see that starting to happen. It's something I do with my really big paintings as well, and it's just combining all of my loves together. Why have them separate? I don't need to have them separate. I can have them all together. Oh, Christiane is saying she's got 2 York. My sister is getting a Yorkie. She's got a little Yorkie, and she's just she's getting a puppy. I can't wait. Oh, Yorkies are so flippin' cute. And a Morkie. I don't know what a Morkie is. Is that a Maltese Yorkie? They all hang out with me in the art room. 2 aquariums and guppies. Oh, the saltwater tank went. Oh. Just 2 parakeets, Blue and Lucky. Oh, cockatiel last year's hurricane. Oh, how lovely. My mum, my dad, well, we as a family, but it was really my dad's. We had a cockatiel. Is a cockatiel a Wero? Same thing, Wero? With the red little cheeks. What a sweet little bird he was. My dad went walking outside and he forgot that the bird was on his shoulder, and because it was always on his shoulder, and it flew off and we could never find it, and it was hard. Oh no, he did find it. He knew it had gone into someone's backyard and they wouldn't let him in, and it was in their pool, and poor little thing. So I think that really broke his heart. Oh, I forgot about that. I remember the weirdest things when I'm talking with you guys. That was a bit of a sad memory for me though, for him as well. Sorry, I'm just sort of having a little walk through this journal. See how, look, I've got the little people here in the shoulders. This is something I've done forever, adding the little people and little things around, and I do it a lot in my big paintings, and I think it's a way of my life drawing to be able to creep through, and my fashion illustration training from Paris with my presentation to my parents. What a privilege, huh? To be able to do a presentation and for them to... My dad would remind me of it every so often, be like, well, you know, that was very expensive. Like if he asked me to do something, I was like, oh, well, I don't have time, or this or that. He'd be like, well, you know that I did pay for you to go to Paris. That was very expensive. And he would hold it against me, but I suppose I should have been helping anyway, so there you go. Whosoever loves believes in the impossible. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh, this lettering is by Joanne Sharp, the queen of amazing lettering. This is her, the queen. This is alcohol markers. We were talking about alcohol before. There you go. And it's not nice on watercolour paper. They're horrible. It drains the pen. So you need to use UPO paper or specialty paper with watercolour, and then, with alcohol inks. And then it's hard to use them with anything else. It's not impossible, but you're limited. There are limitations, and I can't be bothered. So this is where we went to life drawing last week, and we got the dates wrong, and we went and sat and drew at a cafe. I just popped that up on Instagram, and this paper was fighting me. What is it? It's just some Italian fancy watercolour paper. It's rough. It's very, very rough watercolour paper, and I've drawn with watercolour pencils with magic wands. I'm just in full-blown love with magic wands at the moment. Sorry, water wands. Making a bit of pink in his hat. Steal a bit of pink from her hair. This lady had the most incredible false eyelashes. Like unreal. Banana peel. He had a hat on. Just adding colour to everyone. He didn't have any hair, so... He had 2 pairs of glasses on though. So this is watercolor pencils. Oh, I've got a bit of a drip. I like it. If it wants to go over there, well then, this is the nice thing about watercolor. It makes its own suggestions, a bit like AI. What I love about AI, like ChatGPT, is you ask it a question and then can I help you? It doesn't say, can I help you in any other way? So then you have to think of something. It says, can I help you do? And it'll give like 3 things more that lead on from where it is. And you can either say, no, you know, thumbs up, good, thanks. Or you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'll have a printable map of whatever you're talking about. No, yeah, thanks. And this is from a workshop that I did, and I always meant to finish. I've got another page similar to that. Oh, this is from Cloth, Paper, Scissors, where I did a full-blown swatch out. I got all of my turquoise water media things at the time, and I did an article about swatching. So big, so blue, so beautiful. She's blowing on the world there, you see. And so I've got all of my blues here. So this just teaches you, especially when you compare what you think is the same colour in your different art supplies, you actually see the subtle differences. So in my mind, I would have thought, you know, I have turquoises and aquas, and I'd have a pretty good idea of what they are, because it's impossible for that, or whatever the colour is on the outer, the packaging, to replicate what is inside, because it's a totally different material that's inside the actual art supply. So paint is different to pencil, the pencil that lives inside the pencil. You know, this coloured lid is so different. Well, and we try as hard as we can to emulate, but this changes in different light. So, you know, like, we try, but we fail. So what this will show you is just how different every turquoise you have in your different things is. If you just did one colour, or hot pink, or chocolate brown, or whatever colour it was that, you know, is you could do the colour quiz from my video a few weeks ago, and do that colour and just watch, get out all your things that are in that range, and just have a comparison, and you'll realise the massive spectrum of colours that you've got, and that you really do prefer some types of turquoises or some types of pinks over others, cooler pinks or warmer pinks. You know, you'll learn stuff about yourself and about yourself as an artist. So this is paint with pencil on the top. Oh, she is so cute. She's just whirling along. Oh, one art. Chris has got a shepherdor, a lab shepherd mix. Looks like a chocolate lab. Oh, how lovely. Hey, Debbie. Well, Debbie has cats. Nancy's got a porky shaped like a miniature pond with Yorkie texture hair. Stop. Have fun, Caruso. And now this is a bit of life drawing, just cover up his nethers. This is Mr. J. And I had this watercolour head here, and I've just popped Mr. J on there. It was a really big moment for me doing that, because I saw it and I thought, oh, that's what I want to do. I've been saving it and saving it, and for no reason. And it felt good to actually create in it. So that was some of what I did, and I will take this book again. And then I also took this book. I'll show you this. This is a journal that I got in Mexico, I think, years ago. And it is full of different coloured handmade papers. They're very absorbent. It's like that paper you get from India. It might even be from India, I don't know, but it's handmade paper. No, I got lots of handmade paper in Mexico. Some of them had like lacy kind of things in them, and you can really see where it's not pulp, it's like strips of whatever the paper is. And I feel like the papers have faded over time a bit, but they've all got these natural edges. How gorgeous. So I thought, well, I'm going to use this. I might have to prep the paper a bit because it's so absorbent. It's not good for watercolor and stuff. And if I just, you can't, it just looks like a scribble. You can't see his bits. But this was Mr. J, and he has the most sculptural feet I've ever seen. That's just sculptural. And so anyway, I became fixated on the ankles, then covered them up, and he became Hermes, or Mercury, the messenger god. And this was his place. So to me, he's sitting and waiting. It's never good to make a god wait. Never. That never works out well for whoever that's happening with. So I started out with an initial sketch with a paint over pen. That's this purple that's in the background. In fact, just this exact one. See how the paper is just drinking it in, sucking it in. It's so absorbent. And I've got gold paint over pen on here as well, but the LTQ, the guy next to me was like, where do I get that pen from? Where do I get that pen? So he's got his messenger bag and the word's not calculus, but it's color clay, it's something like that. His little staff that he used to carry around. And Hermes, or Mercury in the Roman, it became Mercury, but he started off as Hermes. He was the messenger god because he could go between all worlds and none of the others could. I think Hades could, because he would pop up all over the place, but he really couldn't walk around with impunity. No one liked him. But Mercury could go from the underworld to Earth and to Olympus. So he could go everywhere. So he could carry messages, but he was also a bit of a naughty one because no one could ever check up on him. He used to get bored of things. So yeah, he used to create a bit of trouble, create a bit of mischief amongst the people. Okay, I'm going to move back to my table here. And a caduceus. How do you say that, Debbie? Can I copy that? Caduceus. I would like to know how to say it. Oh, Emma just got her Mermaid download. So you can still get that. It's not just for May, it's forever. But was special for Mermaid. So I thought of doing that 2 nights before my operation. And I really didn't know what state my hand would be in. I didn't think it would be a full bandage like mummy hand for a few days. So I had to finish it with my hand encased in wadding. So anyway, I did. I just mainly used that finger. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, look. This is, I took Poppy to can that focus on that? Oh, it can, wow. That's Poppy and I at the Furry Friends Festival, and that's Angus and Poppy and I. Look at Poppy there. Oh, so funny. Oh, cute Angus. It was like a little photo booth. Oh, so cute. I've got my photos from last year somewhere. Okay. Oh, Kerry says, oh, my glasses, my goodness, they're not quite good enough. Kerry said, I always wanted a handmade leather-bound jacket. Well, you could make one yourself. Especially you, Kerry. Paper from Latvia. Oh, right, you saw that one there. Oh, wow. Wow, Latvian paper. Just handmade paper. The only thing with handmade papers is they are absorbent. You know, you see the handmade leather-bound journals. I see them in the markets all the time here. And they're from India. And the leather work, oh, they're beautiful. And I've got, of course I have some, But the paper, it's like toilet paper, thick toilet paper. It's so absorbent. You could clean up spills with it. But I shall matte medium. I shall matte medium that. Might even just like paint it with some contrasting colours. So I've got the colour out there and the colour inside, and let it be a little bit lackadaisical. Yeah, so I have plans, I have thoughts about this paper. I remember trying to do collage on that type of paper, and it just sucked so much of the matte medium into its crevices that I thought I'm going to go through my whole matte medium just to do a tiny bit. So what I will do next time is put a bit on, let it dry, and then attack again. It's like when you use an altered book, it's always a journey, and it just binds you closer to the journal and the art. It just, because it's part of it. So any preparation work, swatching is preparation work too in a way. All of that stuff just unlocks more later because it draws you into the process. You are not letting go of that. You are going to keep going with it because it's really a important thing for you. That's what I say anyway. Just going to do this so you can see my... she's fighting me. She's fighting me. So I've got my create lights, got my little fairy lights, my plants, I'm on air, I've got my new little lamp there. I'm trying to make it nice for you guys and for me. But oh my gosh, it's so much easier recording. I'll do a full technical video at some point in case that's of any interest, in case any of you ever want to try live streaming or just as a little interest thing. You might have someone else in the family that's interested in doing something like this. You know, and they don't have to be doing art, do whatever, but what all of the different things that I've learned, and yeah, everything works together, because I suppose everyone is different with how they're using it. Because I'm an artist though, my needs are quite specific, and because I'm me, I have specific needs when it comes to this. Oh good, enjoying it. Yes, yeah, the handmade cotton papers, oh my goodness, they're just exceptionally absorbent and terrible for watercolour. If they don't have sizing, if it's cotton watercolour with sizing, that's a different thing. But even then, any watercolour paper that has sizing in it, of course, that's what makes it watercolour paper. The watercolour can sit on the top and dry rather than just sinking into the paper and making paper mache. But acrylics would be really good on that, and acrylic is really nice to draw on as well. So, blah, 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 blah. Catechus. Oh, that suits Mercury. He was a bit kissy, whether you wanted him to be or not. Okay. Oh, Scrap Babs has a golden retriever and a sweet old kitty. Oh, gorgeous. I'm just having a quick scooch back. Hey Becca, how you going? Just scooching back through the comments. Art teacher asks, for swatches, do I always use white paper, plain or gessoed watercolour or mixed media? Yes. I do all of those. I use white paper, yes, tick. Plain, tick. Gesso, tick. You could also swatch onto vintage papers or whatever, newspaper if you want to, and see what happens with that. Like, see what happens. Nothing will explode or catch fire. So, hopefully. Don't quote me on that. Do your own tests. Let common sense prevail. I test on everything. I do my swatch. See, if you do your swatching, if you do, say with watercolour, if you watercoloured on smooth operator, levitation, window pane, I'm just listing all the papers, aquaculture, back to the fuchsia, glittering prize, dark arts, it's going to behave differently on each one. A whole different art supply on each paper. And layer cake, same thing. Different art supply on each paper. But you can also do vintage papers and you don't have to prep it. Just put it on there and see what happens. You might really like the effect, you might not. Depends on the paper. Might suit you in that moment, might not. You learn. But what will happen is the information will go into your mind, and then at another point, it might not have suited you in that moment, but then at another point you'll be thinking back and you think, oh yeah, I got that soft effect. What you wanted at the time was a vibrant effect, so that didn't suit you. But later you might be feeling in a more gentle, soft effect mood. And you can think, oh yeah, how did I do that? Oh yeah, I did that on vintage, but oh yeah. Perfect, perfect. And you've just invented a new art supply for yourself without having to do anything other than test it on a different surface. So if you also do watercolour on top of paint, on top of gesso, on top of matte medium, if they're Jane Davenport gessos and matte mediums, they will be lovely. Some of them are very plasticky, so they might not be very nice, but this is the things that you will discover. Because my test is watercolour has to work on everything that I do. Colour pencil has to work on everything that I do. The only exception is the undulation paper, which is the rice paper. It's so soft and delicate. I don't like using coloured pencils on it. But that's the only exception that I've made. Otherwise it has to work on everything. But you can use other things. Oh, thanks, Gary. Oh, wow, Debbie's got hummingbirds. Do you know what we had? I could show you the dead bird because I still have it here. A regent bowerbird. Regent bowerbird. It's black, velvety black, like black, 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 and fluorescent lemon yellow with going into orange. The feathers on its neck were like fur. They were so dense. It's like the bird of paradise colours, like it's a bird of paradise. It's in Australia, like that realm of bird. The male is black and yellow. It has yellow eyes, yellow beak, a little touch of orange here. Anyway, Angus had been seeing him and said, oh, there's that yellow bird. And I never saw it. I thought he was talking about a different bird, which has a little bit of yellow, not like that one though. And oh, it hit a window and I found it. Oh, imagine that, you're sailing along, bam. And the window's got markings on it and everything. Maybe something was chasing it or just got cocky. I don't know. And I was playing chicken and it lost. I don't know. Anyway, it hit the window. It was deceased. Oh, but it's so beautiful. I did take video of it, but I was like, I might put it in my vlog to honour the lovely bird. But it was I felt sad for 2 days about that. But yeah, what else? Like I've got marks on the window so things can see it, birds can see it, but every so often they don't. And I've got another window in my studio, a pigeon hit that. My gosh, you've got the whole, it must have, bam, you've got all the dust came out of it and pigeon dust, and you can see the full feather marks and like a cartoon, the head. So very sad, but something came and ate it, so at least it could feed its babies that night. I don't know. And it wouldn't have been a snake because they don't eat carrion. They only eat fresh meat, warm meat. Ugh. Okay. Oh yes, you can become a member. You can subscribe to the channel, which means you still get notifications. You don't get all the notifications, it seems, but you get your notifications if you turn on the notification bell so that YouTube knows to do that. That will make sure that you'll get most anyway, way better than Facebook was. And then you've also got, so that's subscribing, but you can become a member, which means I do some special videos just for members, and I've got another one coming just for members, and a lot of the legacy things from my Facebook streams I'm also going to be putting in our members section. And you've got special emojis and special like little mermaids and things you can leave for me. And yes, it just gives us I've set it at the cheapest that it can be per month, and it's a subscription thing, and it just gives me a slightly safer space, like I used to have with the Facebook group, but Facebook have made it so difficult to live stream from groups that and now that they don't keep any of the videos, more than 30 days. So but it felt like a nice little safe space because it's a curated membership, you see, and I know you really want to be there, and you know, I don't know, it's just being out on the internet is like this. It's sort of like, oh my gosh. But that just gives me a little bit of a Davenporty space. So yes, that's how you can join. What's the best way to clean lace after? Oh, just water. Just water, just rinse it and let it dry. And it looks like fairies have put their undies everywhere because you've got all these little bits of lace. Oh, that reminds me. I wonder if they're all still outside after the workshop. I'll have to check that out. Oh, Sherry just became a member. Thank you, Sherry. That's wonderful. Yes, so that's very nice. Yes, and they're the right colours, Kerry, that you've used. Commute to nature. Okay, my friends. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I do have a little list of things here. Oh, I've done them all. There we go. Excellent. And we've had our questions. Oh, Nancy says, are the Euphoria paints the same as the larger layer cakes? I think I'd go through the quarter pans too quickly. The larger, so the Euphoria paints have got the a third rather than a half pan, a third pan. So that you can have more colours and, well, so you can have more colours for the same amount of money, really. It's the way, it's like with a watercolour, the way that I think of doing things for Euphoria is that you get, sorry. With Euphoria, you don't have to mix all of your watercolours. You have tons of colours already there for you. Open it and there it is. And the glimmering ones and the shimmering ones are more toppers. So you're not going to do whole paintings with them. You're going to use them in that small way. So those are amazing value for a paint that's really more of an occasional thing. So that's the reason I've done Universe and Unique, which are the glimmery fancy ones, and Eurovision as well. With Utopia and Euphoria, the bigger sets, the whole idea is you open that, you've just got this whole world of colour. You don't need to mix any colours because that's a whole nother journey, a wonderful journey. And I want you to, the way I see Euphoria is something that you use for an instant choices, instant gratification, instant soothing and journaling joy. Hope Angus does something about Jess. Yes, he does. So you've got all of those gorgeous colours. And then once you know that you love watercolour, that's when you can level up and you can go into my colour library colours, which are master quality pigments. There are some convenience mixes, which are colours that I've created for you, and some are single pigment. So they're the very top quality, and Book Truck is part of that as well. The tube watercolours are the colour library, and the Book Truck edition are the pan versions of the different colours. Amazing, amazing, but way more expensive. So they have bigger pans, and the tubes are actually the best value of any watercolour that you can get, always a tube watercolour, because you've got so much there. You can refill a pan over and over, and you can use it. You can make other pans if you want. You can make sprays and inks and all sorts of other things. So they're a different thing. But until you know that you really love watercolour, Euphoria is amazing value and just gets you into it and realising that if you haven't enjoyed watercolour before, it wasn't you, it was the watercolour and the paper. So that is the whole purpose behind the Euphoria watercolour sets. And then the colour library replaces my original tins of watercolour, and because we just don't have those anymore, and I've leveled up, and yeah, they've just top of the wazza, they're just divine. I don't use anything else, and you saw my swatch journal. I have everything. I don't use anything else. I use those. So yeah, that's the difference. And then if you've got fancy watercolor and you just want some gorgeous new colors, Euphoria and Utopia and Universe and Hero Vision and Unique, they're all going to be just extra fun for you because they're all of these other colors. Will I be expanding those? Yeah, of course. Will I be doing more like cakes? Yes. Will I be repeating some of the sets that have already sold out? No, not at this point, because I need to make room for other things. So sometimes you just, if you see it, you've just got to get it at the time, and but something else will be along, you see. And I know some of you are like me and have to have everything. It's just the way it is. And I'm just looking over, and the dogs are going to keep going crazy. So I am going to go. And hey, excuse me. Hey, oi, oi, hey. I threw a scarf at them. Okay, my friends. Well, thank you so much. Oh, Emma. Oh, that's a good question. Mermaid markers. I do have some on the website. The ones that are there are the last of their kind. Stop it. Come here. Do you want to come up with me? Come here. What have you been eating? You're saving some for later. Oh, you're so cute. That's Ozzy. Ozzy! Good boy. He doesn't like getting in trouble. They've got a window down there they can watch the world from. Okay, so what were we talking about? Mermaid markers. So what I did was, instead of creating more and more mermaid marker colours, I make the empty mermaid markers that the brushes are, our inky depths watercolour brushes have the mermaid tail. Do I have one just here? I've got them all over there in that cupboard. They've got the mermaid tail, they're very high quality, Japanese nylon, blah, blah, blah. And inks, the tattoo ink the Twinkle Toes ink, the Feeling Inspired inks, INKcredible ink, Storytime inks, Legends of the Sea, Pigments of Imagination, the Gods and Monsters, Greek and Roman editions, like all of these different, Skinny Dip, Star Power, all of the different inks that I've done and will keep on doing. You can put them in the water brushes, so you can make your own mermaid markers. You can even use the colour library tubes and make your own watercolour versions of them as well. So that and all of the pigments you can use, all of my pigments, you can create inks and put them in the water brushes. So rather than making water brushes then go empty, we have the empty water brushes that you can put whatever ink you want to. You can make your own ink mixes, mix your own colours, like you can do with the Dr. Ink pens. So you can have your inks in a pen, a fine pen, or in one of the Inky Brush water brushes, and the inks are divine, absolutely divine. The mermaid marker inks were very intense. Someone left me a comment on Instagram and called them nasty. It's like, nasty? Whew. Whew. For you maybe. But mermaid markers, like mermaids, they need water. The more water involved with them, the better. And that's what I said to that person is, a strong language for an art splatter. You've been holding on to that with your chest for too many years. You're letting it all out at once. But one person's, I don't like that. It's the worst thing ever. Is another person's, that's my favourite thing I've ever had. And I don't want to mix my own inks. I want that one. Well, the closest to it, to the mermaid marker inks that we have are INKcredible, which is a better ink, and even better is the Feeling Inspired Creative Juices. There's 24 colours, gorgeous, and they're all named after different aspects of creativity and inspiration, and of thinking, that sort of thing, and they are gorgeous, gorgeous. You can put them in fountain pens as well. Lynn, she's got the marzipan twists. They are so good. They are one of my favourite. I say it about everything though, don't I? Just is. Yes. Emma has been hoarding her last sets of the original one. Oh, use them up, Emma. Use them up. And then get some more inks and put them in. Just use the same, you could just use the same ones, put new ink in your existing mermaid markers, and you'll just make your own ones. You can even just match it up to the label that's on them, the colour label, if you've got the original set that had colour labels. And there are colours that are matchy poo with in the Twinkle Toes set that are on my website. So that's just an idea. Elizabeth would love to have a whole new set of the Welcome Matte colours. Oh, they're so good. And you want more colours. The thing is, with pigments like that, when you move into, those colours are perfect, and they're perfect for us because they're all skin colours. I have been looking for, like the RGB, red, blue, yellow, pink, that sign, as pigments to make into our own things for years. And they're difficult to work with. They require mulling and like physically mashing the particles together with the gum arabic, and it's just too problematic. Welcome Matte, Fairy Dust, Weapons of Mass Creation, the neons, they just melt with the gum arabic. Sometimes some of the colours take a moment, like what's going on here? It's a hydrophobic, and then it just melts in, and the next thing you've got a little buttery sauce. But the more high density pigment colours, my goodness, they are a nightmare for individuals to, if you ever have tried to make your own watercolours with those. I've got pigments that I've bought in Japan, in France, in everywhere, and then actually making it has to be a full-scale operation. Getting out a glass plate and a muller and the whole thing, and you have to make up tons of it, and you just get it everywhere. You find it forever everywhere. It's a little bit more professional grade stuff. I mean, as in how to do it. But I am always looking, so you never know. I might be able to crack that code, because I don't want you to get something like, oh, this is too hard. This is a chore. And the other thing with Welcome Matte is they are colours that I don't have as watercolours. And so they're their own thing. So you're adding to the spectrum of colours. But I do already have all of the gorgeous watercolours without them being pigments. And if you've got the colour library, you can make the inks and things that you can make with the Welcome Mattes as well. So I kind of have it covered already. So although I'm still looking, I kind of have it covered. Oh, Rada says she's been around with me since 2013. Oh, I'm thirsty. I've learned drawing and materials. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, lovely Brazil. I've never been there. I would like to go. Oh, Tanya's going to try mixing Creative Juice with some her powders. Oh, we'll put a little bit of fairy dust in. And you'll make a nice little twinkling things, or pebble pigments. Oh my gosh. Just drop a couple of pebble pigments in a Creative Juice bottle. Heaven. Heaven. Okay, my friends. Well, I am going to go. Thank you for my Thursday thing. I meant to be here for an hour. I think we've been here for 2 hours. And it's been a pleasure. I'll see you next Thursday, I think. Hey, Gary. Oh, yes, have an amazing day for sure. Oh, my gosh, Mart's been making pigment from Exmouth dirt and termite mounds. Oh, that sounds amazing. I bet it granulates like, no, everything. Yum. Oh, well, if you ever make those, you can make that work, darling. Let me know. I'll buy some of those. I buy a little termite mound set. That would be pretty cool. Sorry I have to do this. My glasses are crazy. Oh, Sheila's got her whole kitchen table full of art supplies. How beautiful. Well, go and enjoy them. Go and do some art. Go and do a little bit of swatching. If you ever see a life drawing class near you, go and check it out. Go and check it out. At first, it's a little bit confronting. Yes, there's usually nudity. But it's such a privilege for someone to stand there, nude, naked, stripped bare, and let you draw them. It's an amazing, almost like a sacred thing. It's a special thing that can happen in an art class. And you've got to just sit there and work through your uncomfortableness. There are other people creating. There's things happening. It's not completely comfortable because you're not in your own space, and yet you have to make art, and it's not going to be wonderful. Some of it might be, but you're going to make a lot of not wonderful. I showed you mine. But you're learning all the time, and the best thing is you're doing something that's new for your brain, and that has to be good for you. It has to be. So if you see one, I 1000% encourage you. I'm going off to one in a few weeks. That's one pose. It's called a long pose class. I've never done this. One pose. Usually the pose is at the most 20 minutes. This is a long pose class, so it's the same pose and you're drawing it for 3 or 4 hours. There'll be a break and a little bit of a lunch and a decompression in the middle. I don't know if I'll like it or not, but I want to try it. Oh, and I've also got doggy drawing. Someone is doing live drawing with dogs. Can you even? So I cannot wait. So I will be vlogging all of these things, of course, and be able to vlog the dog one more easily than the people one, because I'm not going to be filming the naked model. But I sometimes film my work. I can do that, but I have already got permission to do a little bit of video at the doggy life drawing. And if you don't have a life drawing class, maybe that's something you can start. You could start with doggy life drawing, or cat or parakeet, something. Mushrooms, not the type you eat. Because who knows what you would draw then. Oh, yes. Oh, Debbie, well, the confidence of the nude models. It's something even more than that. It's so cool. It's really cool. I love it. And then I've been doing this long enough in our area where sometimes I draw the same model even at different classes. And it's cool. It's cool. Like sometimes years apart. And you're like, I recognize that bottom. And then whatever you're learning, it's like with swatching, it goes into the memory, into the muscle memory, your art memory, your art mind. And then when you go to draw from imagination, something else years later, the memory of that, the turn of the foot, the turn of the ankle. And if you get uncomfortable and you don't want to draw people's bits and pieces, you don't have to. You can just draw hands. You can just draw faces. You can try and draw the whole body. You can zone in on details. There's no rules. There's no rules in art. There's no art police. Not at the moment anyway. That was tried in Germany at one point, but didn't work out so well. So artists need to be free. Sometimes people try and tell me what to draw or do. I'm like, oh, that's nice. It's nice that you think you have that kind of power, that your opinion overrides my free will. But I'm good, thanks. Oh yes, Debbie came and did life drawing. Oh, they don't do that one anymore. He's retired. Anyway, I'm a big fan, and I will see you next Thursday, and until then, go and do as much joyfully unpolished art as you can and just have good time with it. And if you get the opportunity to encourage other people to try some of your art supplies, you know, encourage them to do a little bit of art maybe, well, then do that as well. Because we need more joy and artists, and if colour gives joy and art supplies give these things, the world needs more of that. If everyone did a bit more art, I think they might calm down a bit. Yes, they would. So yes, keep safe and happy, and as Kerry just said, go forth and art prosper. That's a good one. Bye.